Every time a flight crew goes on another flight, it's essentially a new team coming together for the first time that needs to gel very quickly to work effectively on the flight. So, based on that and your experience of being a crew member, being the flight services manager, what tips can you share that people listening could directly kind of use and apply straight away when they're maybe leading a new team, leading some sort of work group, and they very quickly want to get people to gel and set the right atmosphere? What did you pick up over the years?
Yeah, it's a really good question. And I think it comes back to one of your points earlier, Ben, connection. It was always notable, for example, with the Virgin example again, and I think people can take this in their own workspace of management versus, employees and the different layers of that, of when the flight crew, the captain or the first officer would come in and introduce themselves during the briefing. It was noticeable when they did that because more often than not, back in the day, they wouldn't. The first thing you would see was you'd literally open the cockpit door and just say, hi guys, I'm Alex. What flight details have you got? By the way, anybody want a cup of tea? That kind of thing. Having that connection, that it's spending the time to introduce yourself is such a basic one, but clearly, in my experience, got ignored many, many times. So I think whether you're a senior manager, taking the time to meet new staff, because, as we've said, every flight could be completely new staff. So taking the time to introduce yourself, I think, goes a long way, and especially is going to really stay with you, no matter what your age, I think, if you've just joined a company. So I think connection is a really good one. I think setting out the vision as well, getting people to buy into that vision. And that could be, as simple as in our scenario of this is the flight plan, this is how long it's going to take. These are the bumps in the journey. It's really, really kind of obvious stuff and people can kind of take it. But in an airline, it's really obvious like that. This is when you're going to get turbulence. And I think the longer somebody might have been in a management role, they're going to know when there could be turbulence coming along in their own business, when somebody's, coming into a new role, certain times of the year that might be a bit more tricky for the business, etc. So I think, coming out with a flight plan. And then, for us, which was really important, I think, because if you bear in mind, you've got the flight out, then you've got a day or 2 days together or not together, as the case might be, and then flying back again. And you could go that whole length of time down route with not seeing that crew again, if you so choose, to then have to almost start from scratch on the way home. So for me, what was very important was trying to get everybody together, be that in a social occasion down route. That could be, the obvious one is meeting at the bar for a drink, but then equally it could be meeting for breakfast. And I think you can take that yourself in your own work environment. I just saw a friend of mine who I interviewed for my podcast, George Cruz, former England Rugby International and British Lion, who's got a wellness company called 4-5 now. And him taking his staff out for a picnic and inviting their partners along, little things like that. And then Christmas, they did something as well that they kind of bonded. So, there are a gazillion different ways you can do that. And again, I've found this out myself over Christmas. I went from fully, immersive team there in person before lockdown to then having to completely restructure that and go online. So my team are now, all over the world, but having to bring them together over Christmas and going, okay, what can we do differently? Let's play a game. Let's do something. So one of the team put together a Christmas quiz, stuff like that. And you've just got to, I think, take it and use it for your particular example. But I think 100% connection, vision, and then camaraderie, bringing people together is, a vitally important, but can get easily missed.